Hello students, in the previous video we have seen Ohm's law, that is V is equal to IR. V is the potential difference, I is the current flowing through the conductor and R is the resistance. Now in certain circuits the resistance or there may be number of resistances which may be connected in series or in parallel or there may be a mixed combination of such resistances. In such cases, in order to get the current through the circuit, what we do is that we find out the equivalent resistance of the given system of resistances. Now, equivalent resistance is a single resistance which can replace the given system of resistances, keeping the current same in both the cases. So here I am going to discuss the resistances in series, resistances in parallel and mixed grouping of resistances. So first, resistances in series. Now in order to explain it, I have considered three resistances which are connected in series. R1, R2 and R3 are the three resistances. The potential drop across the resistance R1 is V1, potential drop across the resistance R2 is V2 and potential drop across the resistance R3, let it be V3. Then if it is the case, we will have to remember these 4 points. Now first point, the equivalent resistance of all these resistances in series is equal to sum of each individual resistance. So if there are 3 resistances, then R, which is an equivalent resistance, is given as R1 plus R2 plus R3. Second, the current flowing through all the resistances remains same. So current remains same is the second point. The third one, total applied voltage is equal to sum of voltage drop. So if V is the total applied voltage across this series of resistances, then the total applied voltage V is equal to sum of the potential drops or sum of voltage drops across the 3 resistances, that is V1 plus V2 plus V3. And the fourth point, the equivalent resistance is greater than the greatest of the resistors in series. So if R is the resistance which is an equivalent resistance, then R is greater than all of these resistances considered separately. If R1 is the greatest one, then R is greater than the greatest one. That is what I want to say. Now, in order to explain it clearly, I am considering an example. So let us consider this example in which 3 resistances are connected in series, 4 ohm, 6 ohm and 7 ohm, and let the battery having a voltage of 34 volt is used over here. So this battery is connected across the ends of these resistances which are in series, and let it be asked to find the potential drop across each resistor. So potential drop across 4 ohm, potential drop across 6 ohm and potential drop across 7 ohm is to be calculated. Now it can be done like this. We will have to replace the given system of resistances by means of a single resistance which we call it as equivalent resistance. So if R is the equivalent resistance, the current flowing through the circuit can be given as V divided by R equivalent. So I is the current flowing through this series of resistances, and we know that the current remains same for all these resistances. So I is equal to V divided by R. I am using the Ohm's law. V is given as 34. R equivalent, as the resistances are connected in series, R equivalent will be the sum of all these resistances. So 4 plus 6 plus 7. So 2 amperes is the current flowing through the circuit. Now it is asked to get the potential drop across 4 ohm. So using V is equal to IR, I is the current remains same across every resistor. So current flowing through 4 ohm is 2 amperes, 2 into resistance of that first resistance which is 4, so 2 into 4 is 8 volt. Similarly, potential drop across 6 ohm, it will be V is equal to IR, that is 2 into 6, it will be 12 volt, and potential drop across 7 ohm, it is equal to 2 into 7, that is equal to 14 volt. Now resistances in parallel. Now when resistances are connected in parallel like this, R1, R2 and R3, then the equivalent resistance is given as 1 upon R is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3, where R is the equivalent resistance. Now when resistances are in parallel, we will have to remember these 4 points. The point number 1, the current flowing through each resistance is going to be different, but the total current supplied must be equal to the sum of the currents flowing through the branches. So if I1, I2 and I3 are the currents which are respectively flowing through R1, R2 and R3, then the total current, that is called as circuit current, I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Point number 2, potential difference across each resistor is the same, which is the applied voltage. So potential difference across each and every resistance in parallel combination remains same, and which is equal to the applied voltage. Point number 3, the branch currents I1, I2, I3 are in the ratio 1 upon R1 as to 1 upon R2 as to 1 upon R3. And point number 4, equivalent resistance is the smaller than the smallest of the resistors. So always you should remember these points, and you should always keep in mind these one. Again, parallel combination is a combination in which the same voltage is applied across all the resistances. In order to explain it more, I am considering a parallel combination of resistances. I am considering two resistances in parallel with one another. So 3 ohm and 2 ohm are the resistances in parallel, and let a voltage of 12 volt is applied across the ends. So same voltage is applied to both of these resistances, which means that it is a parallel combination of resistances. And let it is asked to get the branch currents, means the currents flowing through the resistances are to be calculated. Now what we will do is that we will first get the circuit current, that is current I. So let I is the current which is flowing through the circuit, and it can be obtained as I is equal to V by R, where R is the equivalent resistance. Now, so V is given as 12, equivalent resistance can be obtained by using this formula 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. So 1 upon 3 plus 1 upon 2. If I simplify it to further step, then it will be 2 into 3 divided by 2 plus 3, and the current will work out to be 10 ampere. So the circuit current is equal to 10 ampere. Now it is asked, or it is required to get the branch currents. Now I am naming I2 as the current flowing through the 2 ohm resistance. I3 is the current flowing through the 3 ohm resistance. So I2 divided by I3, that is current ratio, must be equal to R3 divided by R2. This is the relation. So I2 can be written as I3 into R3 divided by R2. But again here we also know that I is equal to I2 plus I3. Total current is equal to current flowing through the branches, sum of the currents. So I2 plus I3, I3 is equal to 10 minus I2. Substituting it over here, I2 is equal to 10 minus I2 into 1.5. So I2 is equal to 15 minus 1.5 I2. If we solve it, we get I2 is equal to 6 ampere, and hence I3 is equal to 4 amperes. Now next case is the mixed grouping of resistors. Now in this type of grouping, some resistors are in series and some are in parallel. For an example, let us consider this example. So there are 4 number of resistances, 2 are connected in parallel, and this parallel combination is then provided in series with these 2 resistances. And let it be asked to find the current from 30 volt supply and the current through 6 ohm resistor. So find the current through 30 volt supply, means the circuit current is to be obtained. Now in order to get the circuit current, always get the equivalent resistance. Now in order to get the equivalent resistance of this combination of resistors, first I will prefer to get the equivalent resistance of these 2 resistors which are in parallel with one another. So equivalent resistor for these 2. Equivalent of the parallel combination 6 and 3 ohm can be obtained like this: 6 into 3 divided by 6 plus 3. So 6 into 3 divided by 6 plus 3 using the same formula, that is 1 upon R is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. We can simplify that formula to this stage, and it will be 6 into 3 divided by 6 plus 3, it will be 2 ohm. So if I want to replace this parallel combination, the equivalent resistance will be 2 ohm. So if I replace it, actually the circuit will look like this. it is the 2 ohm resistance, it is the 2 ohm resistance, and these two are to be replaced by 2 ohm resistance again. Now again it means that these three resistances are now in series with one another, and the resultant equivalent resistance will be 6 ohm. So this circuit can be reduced to this one. The same potential difference is applied in this case also. So 6 ohm is the equivalent resistance, and therefore circuit current can be obtained as V divided by R. V is the 30 volt, so battery is having a voltage of 30 volts, so 30 divided by 6, that is equal to 5 ampere. So 5 ampere is the circuit current, but it is asked to get the current through 6 ohm resistance also, so actual current through this one. Now if we observe the combination, current I is 5 ampere, so 5 ampere will be over here, 5 ampere will be flowing like this, 5 ampere is still over here, but hereafter branching takes place, and some current will flow through 6 ohm, some will go through 3 ohm resistance, and therefore current through 6 ohm resistor means this resistor can be obtained as the total current, that is the branch current over here, the total current, that is circuit current, that is 5 into 3 divided by 3 plus 6 will be the current through the 6 ohm resistor, and which is equal to 1.7 ampere. One more term which I want to explain over here is resistivity. Now resistivity of the materials is the property of the material, and it is found that the resistance of materials is directly proportional to the length of the material, or length of the conductor to be specific, and resistance is inversely proportional to the cross sectional area, and as such resistance is given as constant of proportionality, which is called as resistivity and is denoted by rho into L divided by A. Rho is called as resistivity, or it is also called as specific resistance, and its SI unit is ohm meter. Now resistivity is also the resistance of a cube of 1 meter side measured between the opposite faces. We have seen what a resistance is. We have seen the series, parallel and mixed grouping of resistances also. We have seen the resistivity also. Now the question is, does the resistance remain constant when the temperature of the conductor is varied or not? Now in case of almost all the conductors and in all metals, the resistance increases with increase in temperature, whereas in case of carbon, the resistance decreases with increase in temperature. There are some alloys in which the resistance do not change with the change in temperature. So you will have to remember this also. Thanks.